In the heart of Los Angeles, inside a mansion worth $40 million, a black woman was forced to scrub dishes in front of hundreds of wealthy guests, humiliated, insulted, and treated like she didn't belong. What no one in that glittering ballroom knew was that she wasn't just a guest. She was the true owner of the mansion and a wife of the man who controlled half the city's fortunes. That night, every insult, every laugh, and every arrogant word would come back to destroy the very people who thought they were untouchable. Camila Johnson, 32, adjusted the crystal tray in her hands, her sharp eyes scanning the lavish ballroom. The chandeliers sparkled above, the music floated like smoke, and the champagne in crystal glasses cost more than some people's monthly rent. Yet all anyone could see was the fact that she was the only black woman in the room. That alone made her a target. Victoria Lancaster, the ruthless event organizer of Los Angeles's most exclusive charity gala, spotted her from across the room and narrowed her eyes. Striding toward her in her glittering red gown, she sneered, "What are you doing here? Someone like you shouldn't even be on this side of the mansion. Take those dishes to the kitchen. That's where you belong." The entire room fell into an uncomfortable silence. Some guests lowered their eyes, pretending not to notice. Others smirked, enjoying the humiliation. Camila, holding the tray firmly, said calmly, "I think there's been some misunderstanding." But Victoria raised her hand sharply. "No stories. The kitchen is short-staffed, and you'll help with the dishes." 3 hours earlier, the humiliation had already begun. When Camila first arrived at the mansion, wearing her navy blue gown, the security guard at the front gate looked her up and down with suspicion. "Service entrance is in the back," he said without checking the guest list. Camila had only smiled politely. "Actually, I'm invited." The guard laughed. "They all say that." He waved her toward the back, dismissing her like an unimportant figure. She walked past, remembering her husband's words that morning. "Sometimes people show you who they really are when they think you don't matter." Now, standing in the mansion's steamy kitchen, Camila rolled up her sleeves and began scrubbing delicate china plates worth thousands of dollars. Around her, the other staff, mostly Latinos and immigrants, worked silently, used to this kind of treatment. An older woman named Rosa whispered, "Don't take it personally, honey. They don't see us. To them, we're invisible." Camila only nodded, her eyes calm, but burning with something Rosa couldn't understand. From the ballroom, Camila heard Victoria's laughter through the half-open door. "Some people just don't know their place in the world," she announced loudly to her circle of elite guests. The room erupted with approving chuckles. "It's our duty to remind them." Those words made Camila smile for the first time that evening. Not a smile of submission, but one of anticipation. Victoria wasn't finished with her cruelty. She stormed into the kitchen with two wealthy allies, Robert Kane, a ruthless Los Angeles real estate tycoon, and Patricia Hall, heiress to a pharmaceutical empire. They leaned against the counter as if watching a circus. "You're washing too slowly," Victoria said. "People like you should be grateful for any kind of work." Robert laughed. "At my company, she wouldn't even get an interview." Patricia added coldly, "That's why our country is drowning. Too many chances for people who don't deserve them." Camila's shoulders stiffened, but she kept scrubbing. Rosa whispered again, "Ignore them, dear." But Camila was no ordinary staff member. She was a Harvard Business School graduate, the CEO of Johnson Strategic Consulting, a company worth $80 million. Known for saving corporations from scandals and destroying reputations when needed, she had spent years in the shadows, building power quietly. And now, standing in this kitchen, her patience was about to run out. She dried her hands slowly, turned to Victoria, and said softly, "Interesting perspective, especially since this gala is supposedly about helping underprivileged children. I wonder what the donors would think if they heard how you really speak about the less fortunate." The kitchen froze. Victoria blinked in shock. Robert cleared his throat. "That's different." Camila raised an eyebrow. "Is it?" Her voice was calm, but it cut like glass. "From where I'm standing, it looks exactly the same hypocrisy that keeps this city divided." Rosa watched in awe. In 20 years of working for the rich, she had never seen anyone talk back like this. Victoria, trying to regain control, snapped. "You're just a worker in this kitchen. That should remind you of your place." Camila stepped closer. "My place?" Her eyes glowed with quiet fire. "Are you sure you know whose kitchen this really is?" The color drained from Victoria's face. "This mansion belongs to the Lancaster family," she stammered. "We rent it every year for the gala." Camila smiled faintly. "Is that so?" What none of them knew was that just a few hours earlier, Camila had walked into the mansion as its rightful co-owner. Her husband, Ethan Johnson, had purchased the estate under a trust in their name. He was the silent force behind half the investments that kept Los Angeles's high society afloat. And in less than an hour, he was about to walk through the door. Suddenly, the sound of footsteps echoed down the marble hallway. Rosa whispered urgently, "It's Mr. Johnson. I know those steps anywhere." Camila's lips curved. Perfect. Right on time. Victoria panicked. "You can't leave. Finish the dishes first." Camila untied the apron and placed it neatly on the counter. "Actually, my work here is just beginning." Outside the kitchen, Ethan Johnson strode in, his assistant David trailing behind him with a tablet. "The board meeting ended early," Ethan said. "I hope Camila wasn't too bored here tonight." David cleared his throat. "Sir, security reported an incident. A woman in a navy blue dress was directed to the service entrance. She was sent to the kitchen by Miss Lancaster." Ethan stopped dead in his tracks. His jaw tightened. "Description? Black woman, early 30s. For a moment, Ethan's entire face darkened. Then, in a voice so calm it was terrifying, he said, "Document everything. Every word, every insult, every person involved. Tonight, they learn who they really humiliated." Back in the kitchen, Victoria still tried to intimidate Camila. "You're being very bold for someone in your position." Camila turned fully to face her. "My position? You're right. Let me show you what that is." At that exact moment, Ethan's voice thundered from the hallway. "Where is my wife?" The kitchen went dead silent. Robert's smirk vanished. Patricia paled. Victoria stumbled back, her voice breaking. Your wife!" Camila calmly lifted her left hand, revealing the diamond ring she had kept hidden. "Yes, he did bring a wife tonight. You just sent her to wash dishes in her own home." Ethan entered, his eyes blazing. He ignored everyone else and went straight to Camila. "Are you all right?" She smiled calmly. "Perfectly fine. In fact, it's been very educational." Turning to the stunned elites, Ethan's voice cut like steel. "Ms. Lancaster, Mr. Kane, Miss Hall, welcome to my home." The three froze in horror. "We didn't know," Victoria stammered. "Didn't know what?" Ethan snapped. "That my wife deserved respect? Or that she had more power than any of you combined?" Camila placed her phone on the counter. The screen was glowing, recording the entire humiliation from the start. "Every word you spoke is on record," she said quietly. "And in 10 minutes, it will be on every major news outlet in California." Ethan began making calls on David's tablet. "Cancel the Johnson Foundation's sponsorship of all Lancaster events. Effective immediately." Victoria gasped. That was 60% of her business. He dialed again. "Terminate every contract with Kane Real Estate. I don't care about penalties." Robert nearly collapsed. Then Ethan turned to Patricia. "Westfield Pharmaceuticals, right? Consider all supply contracts canceled." Patricia's lips trembled, realizing millions were gone in seconds. As panic filled their faces, Camila delivered the final blow. "One more thing. You told me people like me never make it far. Perhaps you should know I'm the CEO of Johnson Strategic Consulting, the firm hired by the city to review all public event contracts. Guess whose company I'll be evaluating first?" Victoria's knees buckled. Robert's face turned ghostly pale. Patricia whispered, "This will destroy us." Camilla's gaze was unflinching. "The way you tried to destroy me? No. This will simply reveal yo." By the time the news broke hours later, Los Angeles's high society was in shock. 3 of its most powerful figures were exposed as hypocrites, their fortunes crumbling overnight. And the woman they had mocked in the kitchen walked out holding her husband's hand, not just victorious, but unstoppable. This story is more than revenge. It's about dignity, respect, and the truth that real power doesn't come from money or status. It comes from knowing your worth and never letting anyone take it away.